1957. A bathroom in Pennsylvania, 6:15 in the morning. She opens a compact of pressed powder and pats it across her forehead, twists a brass lipstick tube across her lower lip, wets a mascara brush with her tongue, and paints her lashes. Dusts talcum powder between her thighs. 4 products before breakfast. Every one of them contained an ingredient that is now illegal to sell. She did not know. The companies did. These are 15 toxic beauty products 1950s women used daily. None of them ever carried a warning label. Number 15. Face powders containing bismuth or other toxic minerals sold at drugstore counters through the middle of the 20th century. The compact snapped open with a satisfying click. The powder inside was finer than anything on the market today. Silky, weightless. It sat on the skin without shifting, without caking, without settling into lines. Women patted it on at the Woolworth's mirror during a lunch break, touched it up before church. The pressed cake lasted weeks. It cost 35 cents. The texture was achieved through finely milled minerals, but historical formulations frequently relied on toxic heavy metals like bismuth or mercury before regulations tightened. And lead does not leave the body. It accumulates in bone, in tissue, in blood. She carried it with her long after the compact was empty. She trusted it because her mother used it. Her mother trusted it because nobody told her not to. Number 14. A depilatory cream called Corem Lou, sold to women who wanted to remove unwanted facial hair. The active ingredient was thallium acetate. The product caused widespread poisoning in the early 1930s, leading to its manufacturer's bankruptcy and its removal from the market before the 1938 Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act was even passed. A woman in Ohio wrote to a magazine asking why her vision was failing. The answer was on her bathroom shelf. She bought it to feel presentable. It cost her far more than the price on the jar, but the face was only the beginning. What she put on her lips every morning may have been worse. Number 13. Lipstick containing trace heavy metals. While not intentionally added as a primary ingredient, impurities in color additives meant mid-century lipsticks contained unregulated trace contaminants. Revlon launched Fire and Ice in 1952. The advertising campaign was everywhere. The waxy drag across the lower lip, the blot on a tissue left behind on the restaurant table. A woman reapplied 4 to 7 times a day. Over a lifetime, she consumed roughly 4 pounds of lipstick through absorption and incidental swallowing. The lead passed directly through the mucous membrane into the bloodstream. A tube cost $1.50. The shade had a name. The lead did not appear on the label. Number 12. An eyelash and eyebrow tinting product called Lash Lure. It promised permanent lash color. The active ingredient was paraphenylene diamine, a coal tar dye. Women had it applied in beauty parlors. The burning started hours later. The eyelids swelled shut. At least 16 women were permanently blinded. One woman in Ohio died. Her name was Mrs. Hazel Fay Brown. The year was 1933. Her case helped push Congress to pass the 1938 Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. But similar coal tar dyes remained in beauty products for decades after. It took a woman's death to get a law written. It took another 40 years to enforce it. Number 11. Face cream and powder containing radium and thorium. The brand was called Thoradia. Though French in origin and primarily sold in Europe, it came to symbolize the global fad of radioactive cosmetics during the early decades of the 20th century. The jar had a green-tinted label. The advertising promised radiance. That was not a metaphor. Radium actually glows. Women smoothed it along the jawline and across the cheekbones before bed. The word radioactive was printed on the packaging as a selling point, not a warning, a feature. It sat on the vanity next to the cold cream and the hand mirror. She paid $2 for a jar that delivered exactly what it promised. A glow that came from inside the product. And it did not stop when she washed her face. 5 products in, not one of them carried a caution label. Not one of them was pulled from shelves voluntarily. These women were not reckless. They were trusting. They trusted pharmacists and magazine advertisements and the familiar packaging at the 5 and dime. The same way we trust ingredient lists today. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is that nobody told them. And the people who knew had every financial reason to stay quiet. Number 10. Skin bleaching creams containing ammoniated mercury. Sold to lighten freckles, age spots, and uneven skin tone. Stillman's Freckle Cream, Natanola, available at Woolworth's at the drugstore counter through the Sears catalog. A thick white paste with a sharp metallic smell buried under perfume. Applied nightly with the fingertips, rubbed into the cheeks and forehead. The skin did lighten, because the mercury was killing the melanocytes, the cells that produce pigment. It also accumulated in the kidneys and the nervous system. Tremors, memory loss, organ damage that arrived years later with no explanation. Products containing mercury were not fully banned in American cosmetics until 1973. She rubbed it into her face every night for a decade. The freckles faded. Something else did, too. Number 9. Nail hardening products containing formaldehyde at concentrations now classified as carcinogenic. The small glass bottle with the brush applicator looked identical to clear nail polish. The smell was sharper, a chemical sting in the nostrils that lingered in the bathroom for an hour. Women painted it across each nail once a week. The nails became hard as shell. They would not chip or bend, but the skin around the cuticles cracked and peeled. The nails yellowed over months. Headaches after application were common and rarely connected to the product. A bottle cost 60 cents. She kept it next to the polish on the bathroom shelf and reached for it every Sunday night before the work week began. Hard nails and soft tissue. The damage was quiet and cumulative, and no one was counting. Number 8. Talcum powder naturally contaminated with asbestos fibers. Johnson's baby powder in the white tin. The soft thud of powder on bare skin after a bath. A white cloud rising when the container was shaken over a changing table. Applied between the thighs, under the arms, inside shoes, on the faces of infants. The sweet familiar smell of every nursery in America. Used daily. Used generously. Used for decades without question. The talc and the asbestos came from the same mines. They could not be fully separated. Internal company documents revealed later in court showed that manufacturers knew about the contamination as early as the 1970s. The lawsuits came 60 years after the first application. The powder had been in every bathroom in America, and in many of them, it still is. Number 7. Hair dye derived from coal tar, containing compounds now recognized as carcinogenic. The acrid chemical smell that filled the bathroom and seeped under the door. The dark stain on the towels that never fully washed out. The rubber gloves that came inside the box included to protect the hands. But no protection was offered for the scalp, the forehead, the ears, or the neck. The burning sensation at the hairline during processing. Clairol told women to ask their hairdresser. Their hairdresser did not know what was in the formula either. The coal tar exemption was written directly into the 1938 law, inserted at the hair dye industry's request. The law meant to protect her had a loophole written by the people she needed protection from. She dyed her hair every 6 weeks for 30 years. The box never told her what she was applying to the thinnest skin on her body. There is something important about where these products were used. Every single one was applied in a closed room, a bathroom with the door shut, a bedroom with the window down, a kitchen with one small light above the sink. The exposure was not incidental. It was intimate, daily, accumulated across years and decades in the most private spaces of a woman's life. No one was measuring. No one was monitoring. The bathroom was the one room in the house that was entirely hers. And it was the room where the damage was done. Number 6. Nail polish remover containing benzene, a confirmed cause of leukemia. Sold as a standard beauty supply at every drugstore in the country. The small glass bottle with the metal screw cap. Cotton balls soaked and pressed against each fingernail, held in place until the polish dissolved. The overwhelming sweet chemical smell that filled the room in seconds. Used in enclosed bathrooms with no ventilation. The lightheaded feeling afterward was so common that women joked about it. Benzene was not removed from most nail product formulations until the middle of the 1970s. She sat at the kitchen table on Saturday night, removing last week's color. The window was closed. She never thought twice about the dizziness that came and went. Number 5. X-ray machines used in beauty salons to permanently remove unwanted body and facial hair. The Trico system, marketed to salons beginning in the 1920s. Some machines still operating into the early 1950s. A woman sat in a chair with her face positioned against the device. No lead apron, no protective eyewear, no dosimeter. Multiple sessions over weeks and months. The hair did fall out, permanently. But the radiation penetrated far deeper than the follicle. Burns appeared days later. Cancers developed years after that in the exact areas that had been treated. She went back every 2 weeks because it was working. The damage arrived on a delay that no one had warned her about. Number 4. Arsenic complexion wafers. Ingestible tablets containing arsenic sold through pharmacies and mail-order catalogs as complexion improvers at the turn of the 20th century. Marketed to make the skin pale and luminous. Taken daily, like a vitamin. The small white tablet dissolved on the tongue. In microdoses, arsenic did produce temporarily clearer skin by suppressing red blood cells near the surface. Women wrote glowing testimonials. The tablets were quietly addictive. When a woman stopped taking them, her skin worsened, which drove her back to the bottle. The cure created the disease, and the disease was the business model. She swallowed arsenic to look well, but what she breathed in every morning was just as dangerous and far more invisible. Number 3. Aerosol hairspray propelled by vinyl chloride, a confirmed carcinogen. Aquanet in the tall pink can, the sharp hiss of the nozzle, the fine mist that hung in the bathroom air for minutes after each application, the chemical taste on the lips if she forgot to close her mouth. Used multiple times a day, every morning before leaving the house, every afternoon touch-up in the restroom at work. The bathroom mirror coated in a permanent sticky film that yellowed over the years. Vinyl chloride was not banned as an aerosol propellant in American consumer products until 1974. She held her breath and sprayed. 20 years of mourning standing in a cloud of something that had no name on the label and no limit on exposure. Number 2. Gradual eyebrow and eyelash darkening products containing lead acetate, marketed as natural-looking progressive color that built over several days of use. Applied every morning with a tiny brush along the lash line and through the brows. The color deepened slowly, almost imperceptibly. Lead acetate absorbed through the thinnest skin on the human body, less than a millimeter from the eye itself. The cumulative exposure from daily application over years was never studied, never measured, never disclosed. A small tube cost $1 and lasted months because so little was needed each morning. The most dangerous product on her vanity was the gentlest one, a soft brush, a quiet morning. Lead at the lash line every single day. Number 1. Mascara containing mercuric compounds as preservatives, applied directly to the lashes, inevitably contacting the surface of the eye. The small cake of mascara sat in its compact on the vanity. The tiny brush moistened with water or sometimes with saliva. She leaned close to the mirror and painted each lash in careful upward strokes. A fleck fell into her eye. She blinked it away. Mercury was added as a preservative to prevent bacterial growth inside the product. It entered her body through the most absorbent tissue on her face. The irritation she dismissed as tiredness, the blurred vision she blamed on reading in low light. Used every single morning by millions of American women through the 1950s and 60s. The first thing she reached for when the day began, the most dangerous object on her vanity. And she had absolutely no way to know. 15 products, exposed and applied in closed rooms, on bare skin, on lips, on eyelids, on infants, sold without testing, used without question, removed without apology. These women were not foolish, they were failed. Failed by an industry that understood exactly what it was selling and a government that looked the other way for decades. Every jar, every tin, every tube she opened was a small act of trust placed in the hands of people who did not earn it. And somewhere right now, a woman is standing in a drugstore aisle turning a bottle over to read the ingredients on the back. She is squinting at words she cannot pronounce, trying to decide if it is safe. Her grandmother never had that chance. She just reached for the jar and believed.